So I have been the chair of the General Synod Planning Committee, which means that I coordinate the activities of the Planning Committee and its subcommittees, the Worship Committee and the Local Arrangements Committee. And I try and bring together the people who have responsibility for all the different pieces of General Synod, and together we plan and set agenda materials and talk about venues and travel and how we're going to live together at Synod. This is my 7th General Synod planning cycle. I like it, but there are times when it's a lot of work. I've chaired the Worship Committee, I've chaired the Planning Committee 4 times. I really like the fact that we get together and work together and build something that's really neat and wonderful. There are times when the detail work is a little overwhelming. The best is working with the staff of General Synod and with volunteers from around the country who have a passion for General Synod. And along with that is the fact that we have a good time together, that we laugh, that we work hard and feed off each other's good ideas. The worst is trying to coordinate a lot of demands on what is a fixed and finite amount of time. And I mean this with all Christian charity, that everyone thinks that what they need to do at General Synod is the most important thing at General Synod. So it's trying to balance what people need in terms of time to do the work of the church with what we have to do together as a synod. Well, we're lucky this year because we're doing an app-based agenda. They'll be able to check a lot of information out on the app on their computer. Because we're going to be having everything on tablets, they're going to have a lot of information at their fingertips in a way that we haven't had before. They're not going to have to deal with huge binders of paper. I think they should be familiar with the material. They're not going to be able to read every word and digest every word before General Synod, but I think they should understand how things are going to flow, what important pieces are coming before General Synod, what guests we're going to have with us, why we have a relationship with the church in Jerusalem, with the church in Cuba, with the church in Brazil, why we have someone coming from the Anglican Communion to address us, so that they understand the ways in which the church fits together. And I think getting ready for that and getting ready to have a good time, work hard and pay attention are really significant pieces. I think being present, listening, meeting people from across the country. You know, we don't come to General Synod to represent a particular place or a particular attitude or a particular point of view. We come together to be members of General Synod, to do what is the best for the whole church. And I think that one of the ways we do that is by meeting people from different regions, different dioceses, learning what's important to other people, working with clergy and bishops and laity together to try and, as a body, make the decisions that are best for the church. I think that people should read this Holy Estate, the report of the Marriage Canon Commission, and they should read it carefully and completely. They should also read the appendices to that report, which ask some questions and talk about how we can do this in the future. I think in terms of the Indigenous Leadership Circle and the Sacred Circle, I think they should read particularly the documents that have come to the Council of General Synod, which are on the website. I think they should be familiar with the various recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in terms of the church, and the really important ways that as a church we're responding and will respond in the future. I enjoy the water cooler conversations. I enjoy the planning that goes on behind the scenes. You know, there's often a meeting early in the morning and often a meeting late at night in which we say, okay, what are we going to try and get through today? And at the end of the day, we say, how did that go? What did we learn in order to get us through tomorrow? And I have the privilege, and it's a real privilege, of being part of that small working group. And we get to reflect on all the wonderful things that happen. Sometimes they're little things that nobody notices. They're not necessarily a big piece of legislation or a big report. It's how people are interacting with each other. So we get to notice those things and say, you know, things are going really well in this way or in this part of Synod. Let's build on that. Let's focus on that. Let's encourage that. And I enjoy the fact that I see people that I have come to know from across the country. I see them sometimes only once in 3 years, and we renew old friendships and commit ourselves to carrying on that way in the future. That the members of General Synod feel that they have been asked to do an important piece of work and have accomplished that they will go home to their own parishes and dioceses knowing more about the Church in the breadth of this country from coast to coast to coast than they knew before, that they will go home having made some new friends, and that we can go home having made a decision about the marriage canon and its current status, and making some real determinations to move forward with Truth and Reconciliation.